Hey everybody, welcome back to Quali-Tea time, where I got a mug for Christmas, and I didn't actually make it into the Christmas time footage because my brother got me it and insisted it be opened and used immediately before I'd even got the camera out. So, I now actually have a Quali-Tea time mug. Nice. A little bit awkward to show off the fox there, but nice. Who knows? Maybe one of these days I'll actually have a Quali-Tea time mug on the professional merch list of whatever. I don't know. We'll see. But besides that, the big news today is that I actually have a new processor. It's actually arrived a couple days early. I was expecting to have to install it, like, right before I did a Dark Souls stream or something. But this is the i7-4790K, and we are currently, for reference, running the i5 357.0K, which there's about a 2-year-ish difference between them in terms of release dates. These days you can get the i5 for about $220, $230 kind of dollars, whereas this is more like $340, $350. In theory, I could have chucked in a few more and gotten the i7-7700K, but the difference isn't that substantial, and also this was on special and I have a budget to keep. They're both 4 cores. The difference mainly is in gigahertz, in that the 3570K is 3.4, 3.8 gigahertz, whereas this is 4.0, 4.4. I'm not going to begin to pretend that I am remotely good with hardware, so that's more or less the thing. What is worth noting though is that the i5 that we are currently running is listed as end of life on Intel's website, so consequently this should keep us running for a bit longer, and ideally at a better rate as well. So hopefully with this we'll actually be able to run Dark Souls without any issues while we're streaming. Other than that, you probably just noticed that I have this thing strapped to my wrist. My wrist is feeling a lot better these past couple of days, because I've got... Obviously, I have this wrist brace, which is helping to ease the strain off my wrist whenever I'm doing stuff that isn't at the computer, but it is very, very much locking my wrist in place, which makes it not very great when you're trying to use a mouse, as you might have noticed in a couple of videos recently. But therefore, I have received this, which is just a wrist support. It's basically, if you think of the anime boob protrusion mouse pads, this is the boob segment just strapped to my wrist, basically. But that lets me keep my wrist in check whilst I'm actually using my mouse regularly, so hooray for that! My wrist is feeling a lot better now. Basically, if you use computers even half as regularly as I do, you do need to take care of yourself, because as ergonomic as things can be built, they are not necessarily going to be completely safe for your well-being, especially if you use them a lot. So keep an eye out for carpal tunnel, folks. It is not fun. But with that, on to the schedule. On Thursday, it's the Lost Hands as the Inquisitor hunts down some meddling wolves and finally achieves the stature that he craves. We also have Midnight Feast at 11 PM GMT. This is assuming that I haven't managed to get this processor working, but some closing off of the Don't Starve will be nice. Either way, so that's 11 PM GMT over at twitch.tv/lyinginbedmore. On Friday, it's an episode of Dungeon Maker as we hunt down some skulls and take on a wither to try and get a beacon to help accelerate development of hubris. On Saturday at 9 PM GMT over at twitch.tv/dragonhat, we have Dungeons & Dragon Hat's Path of Steel. There were some unexpected family comeuppances with the last episode, so hopefully you'll be actually able to see what Impo is looking like in this next episode. On Monday, it's Spring Realms as we discuss working with verticals and dungeon design for the Archive of Sites. On Tuesday, it's Edgington as we pray we don't encounter still more monsters. And at 9 PM GMT over twitch.tv/lyinginbedmore, it's Your Calls Live number 72. Lastly for the week, on Wednesday, it's an episode of Maiding Do as the maid looks around the area for supplies to fix the device, and Kieran reunites with his longtime apprentice. And so, onto the questions. Of course, these questions are drawn from the comment section of the preceding vlog, so if you have any questions for me to answer next time, leave them in the comments down below. Our first question for the week comes from Flurrybird. Hot on the heels of Pepe's Christmas adventure, what is the origin behind Pepe? Pepe, a cute little burb here who went on a Christmas adventure recently, is a World of Warcraft reference. They are the kind of OC character, the pet character, I guess you could say, of one of the artists, I believe, for more recent World of Warcraft's work, and eventually got added to the game as a pet that just sits on your head. I'm not going to demonstrate that because my wolf here might probably just eat Pepe. But Pepe is a massive fan favorite inside the World of Warcraft community, and as is the case with Fuzz too, so consequently Fuzz got this lovely little plush. Fuzz utterly adores this thing, so I figured it was a decent stand-in for Fuzz. Good to see that everyone enjoyed Pepe's little journey and fun playtime. They certainly enjoyed it as well. Sid Striker 2000 asks, how do red makers die for good besides witch spells? The witch's ritual inside of the well way back when only really killed red makers as a consequence of draining their life force. That is why the witch is so hard to kill and so very potent and powerful in a lot of respects. As for how red makers otherwise die for good, if you attack their life force in a similar fashion, you can murder them, but otherwise, it's kind of impossible. It's hard to limit or drain their capacity to resuscitate, so it's just sort of one of their endearing things. It's another aspect in their greed, if you will. But, yeah, there are ways. They're just few and far between. Lastly for the week, Scott Davis asks, would you ever do a Minecraft series with Rivian or Strife? These are both Yogscast Rivian and Yogscast Strife. I don't know about Rivian. I'd rather, more specifically I should say, I don't know if Rivian would be interested in doing anything with me. Rivian sort of has his own way of doing storylines and his own way of doing things, and it would be interesting. I'm sure there would be a lot of people who would love to see the witch interact with Rivian's character a bunch, the whole Blackrock kind of idea. Strife, still working on getting that horror series done. Maybe we'll get that done for, like, Halloween this year. Who knows? Strife and I have very busy schedules. Doing a Minecraft series with Strife would be interesting, though. We sort of crossed paths back in Chaosville. Who knows? That'd be nice. There are a lot of people I'd like to do more stuff with. Mating Dew in particular, I've been trying to use as a sort of love story to a lot of my old collaborations, so maybe we'll get some of the Chaos villains in there. I think White is off doing his own stuff. Dave, I think, he's getting back into gaming, but I don't know how interested he'd be in doing any stuff with me. But who knows? We might see some more people there. Keep an eye out. And that is it for today. So I hope you've all enjoyed, and as always, I shall catch you all next time.